And the United States obviously has an ocean, the Pacific Ocean on one side and the Atlantic Ocean on the other side, and Europe is far away. And then I study American literature of American geostrategists, and they say, okay, in Europe, Russia is very powerful, Germany is very powerful. If these two unite, if Germany and Russia work together, that'd be very bad for us. So we always have to try to split them up. And this is something which has been said by George Friedman. This is this man. He's an American geostrategist. He says, the United States controls all the oceans. No other power has ever done that because the Americans have a very strong Navy, also a very strong Air Force. Therefore, we can invade any country in the world and no one can invade us. And that is a beautiful thing. That's what he said in Chicago in 2015. And for Americans, that means they have these two oceans, here the Atlantic and here the Pacific, that protect them very well. And they know that their challengers are in Eurasia. Eurasia is Europe and Asia combined. And they say big challengers are obviously China, but also Russia. And they say the powerhouse of Europe, Germany, is always a challenger for the United States. So the question comes down, how about Germany? Because Germany is now in a very big crisis. They have very high energy prices. And they used to have very cheap gas coming from Russia, okay? It really made the Germans rich. You have to put it that way. With very cheap gas coming out from Russia through pipelines, it was very good for the German economy. So they had the Nord Stream pipelines, and the Russians really were making the Germans rich. And now these Nord Stream pipelines were blown up. And the question obviously is, what's really the situation between Trump and Merz? Who's boss and who's slave? What's going on? And one of the key issues that this relationship between Germany and Russia has always been of very great interest to American strategists, because people have said here in Germany they work a lot. Okay, they are very precise. They work a lot, hardworking people, and the Russians, they have a lot of oil and gas. So if all the oil and gas links up with the powerhouse of Europe, because Germany is the powerhouse of Europe when it comes to the economy, then both will thrive and will be powerful. The Russians will become rich and the Germans will become powerful. So the Americans were thinking about it and they said, then we have to break this axis between Berlin and Moscow. We have to make them fight each other, and that will solve a problem. We have two competitors which are then swept away. And that is again George Friedman, how he said it. I've never met George Friedman, but I've listened to what he said. He said, the main interest of the United States, over which for a century we have fought wars, the First World War, the Second World War, and the Cold War, has been the relationship between Germany and Russia, because united, that's the very important word, united, they're the only force that could threaten us. So the main interest of the United States is to make sure that that doesn't happen, that Germany and Russians are not united.